It's pretty amazing how much the whole work landscape has shifted, especially when you think about a place like Bangkok, just so vibrant.
Oh, absolutely.
You see people working everywhere now, don't you? Cafes. I've even seen people in parks. But beyond that, there's this whole established scene of shared workspaces. It feels, well, pretty central now.
It really is. And look, if you're thinking about working remotely from Bangkok, or maybe you just need a flexible spot for a business trip, getting your head around the co-working scene is it's really key. It's such a dynamic part of the city's whole business vibe.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. We've been looking at insights from moveandstay.com.
Ah, move and stay.
Yeah, and they're not, just some random website. They've been helping expats and business travelers find their footing in Asia for like over 25 years.
That's a long time. They've seen a lot change.
For sure. Think of them as having like a front row seat to how work and just life has evolved across the region,
Mhm.
helping people find everything from temporary offices to longer term places to stay.
Right. So their perspective on Bangkok's co-working spaces isn't just surface level. It comes from, well, years of experience understanding what people actually need when they're on the move or setting
Yeah.
up somewhere new.
So, our mission today is pretty simple. Whether you're planning that Bangkok trip, maybe thinking about a longer work stint there, or maybe you're just curious about this whole global shift in how we work,
Yeah.
we're going to unpack the essentials of Bangkok's co-working scene. We'll pull out the really important stuff moveandstay.com has highlighted, give you the inside track, basically.
Sounds good, like a
Okay.
quick guide to get you up to speed.
Exactly. Okay, let's jump in then. What's really driving this big boom in co-working spaces in Bangkok?
Well, it's interesting. MoveAndStay.com points to a few things coming together. There's the global trend towards remote work, definitely.
Mm.
Bangkok's right in the middle of that wave.
Right.
People are actively looking for options outside the standard office setup. And co-working spaces, they offer that flexibility, that independence people want.
It makes total sense. Why chain yourself to a traditional office if you don't have to? And moveandstay.com really flags the core benefits, right? It's more than just escaping the cubicle farm.
Oh, yeah.
They talk about cost effectiveness. That has to be a huge pull. Sure
It's
it will.
absolutely huge. I mean, think about it for freelancers, small startups, even bigger companies looking to trim overheads. The savings can be really significant. You ditch the long leases, share costs for things like internet, cleaning, all that stuff. MoveAndStay.com must have tons of data showing this economic win for their users over the years.
And then there's just the sheer convenience factor. They sort out all the basics, the fast Wi-Fi, meeting rooms, printers. It's all just
Yeah,
handled.
it takes away all those little admin headaches, doesn't it? So you can actually focus on your work.
No more wrestling with the Wi-Fi router.
Please no. But beyond just the practical stuff, MoveAnstey.com also mentions those sort of softer benefits, like how being in that kind of dynamic, collaborative environment can actually boost your productivity, maybe even spark some creativity.
Which brings us neatly to the community side of things. It's clearly not just about renting a desk, is it? MoveAndStay.com seems to really stress the networking and collaboration angle.
And that touches on something important about how work itself is changing. These spaces are often designed specifically to get people talking.
Mm-hmm.
MoveAndStay.com mentions things like events, workshops, social gatherings even. These aren't just little extras. They're genuine chances to connect with people you might not otherwise meet. Different fields, different ideas. You might find your next business partner or client there.
So it's plugging into a network, almost, not just sharing Wi-Fi.
Precisely. And they specifically mention True Digital Park as being known for that strong community feel. Seems like MoveAndStay.com's users consistently rate that aspect highly there.
Okay, so there are loads of options in Bangkok. How does someone even begin to choose? It sounds like it could be a bit much.
Yeah, it can feel overwhelming. That's where that Goldilocks idea comes in handy. It's not about finding the fanciest or the cheapest.
Right.
It's about finding the one that's just right for you. And MoveAndStay.com probably advises their clients to start with a little self-reflection. Like, what do you actually need to get your work done?
Okay, so like, what kind of desk setup works best? MoveAndStay.com likely breaks that down, right? Like a hot desk if you're flexible and don't mind moving around,
Yeah, cheapest usually.
or a dedicated desk if you want your own spot.
Mid-range, bit more stability.
Or maybe even a private office if you've got a team or just need quiet.
Exactly. And then beyond the desk itself, what about the nitty-gritty? How crucial is blazing fast, super reliable internet for what you do? What's your actual budget, And are you thinking about potential extras?
Oh, the extras. Good point.
These are really key questions to ask yourself up front. MoveAndStay.com, with their experience, probably has a good handle on the common needs and budget ranges their users typically have.
MoveAndStay.com also brings up trial periods. That seems smart. Like test driving a car, isn't it?
Exactly like that. You wouldn't sign a year-long lease on an apartment without seeing it first.
Yeah, definitely not.
So many co-working spaces offer day passes or maybe weekly trials. Lets you feel the vibe, test the Wi-Fi, see if the noise level works for you before you commit longer term. And that flexibility in membership options they highlight is crucial too. Your needs can change. MoveAndStay.com has likely seen countless users benefit from not being locked into something rigid.
And there must be common mistakes people make when choosing. MoveAndStay.com flags things like ignoring the commute. Ouch. That sounds like a recipe for disaster in Bangkok traffic.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
A stunning workspace isn't much good if getting there makes you want to tear your hair out every morning.
Wow.
How easy is it to get to by BTS or MRT? It's a huge factor.
Yeah.
For the expats and travelers using moveandstay.com, figuring out local transport is often priority number one.
Yeah, makes sense. And it's not just about the journey to the space. They also warn against getting swayed just by how cool a place looks.
Right. Aesthetics are nice, but if the chairs give you backache or you're constantly hunting for a power socket, you're not going to be productive, are you?
True. Function over form sometimes.
Pretty much. Comfort, good lighting, natural light, if possible. Those basics are fundamental. And that reminder to ask about hidden costs, so important. Meeting room fees, printing charges, you need clarity on what's included. MoveAndStay.com would definitely advise digging into the fine print.
Okay, let's talk location within Bangkok. It seems like where the space actually is matters a lot.
Yeah, MoveAndStay.com really emphasizes this. There are trade-offs, city center versus maybe somewhere more suburban.
Right. City center probably means closer to clients, meetings, that buzz. Like One Bangkok they mentioned is a prime example.
Exactly. That kind of premium central spot.
Sure.
But that often comes with a higher price tag, maybe more noise, more bustle.
Whereas a suburban space might be easier on the wallet, maybe a different vibe, quieter perhaps.
Could be, but you might be further from the central business districts. The key thing MoveAndStay.com stresses is accessibility, wherever you choose. How good are the transport links? Is there parking if you need it? What's the traffic actually like around there? For MoveAndStay.com users, these logistics are often non-negotiable.
And it's not just getting to the office, is it? It's about what's around it, too.
Definitely. Think about your day. Where are you grabbing coffee? Lunch? Do you eat a bank nearby? A gym, maybe? Having those everyday amenities close by just makes your workday smoother, more enjoyable. It's about how the workspace fits into your life. MoveAndStay.com likely includes info on nearby facilities for their listings.
So these places are trying to be more than just desks for rent. They're actively trying to boost productivity. What facilities should people really look out for beyond, Wi-Fi and a chair?
Well, MoveAndStay.com makes it clear. Reliable, fast internet is the absolute baseline, non-negotiable.
Got it.
But things like genuinely comfortable ergonomic chairs, that's crucial for working longer hours without discomfort.
Yeah, my back agrees with that.
And practical things like easy access to printing and scanning, still essential for lots of people. Plus, MoveAndStay.com points out good lighting, natural and artificial. It really impacts focus, eye strain.
Things you don't think about until they're bad.
Exactly. And quiet zones. Having a dedicated space where you can really buckle down without chatter is invaluable for focused work.
Makes sense. And what about meeting rooms or event spaces?
Super important for collaboration, client meetings, maybe running a workshop. You need to check room sizes, what equipment they have, projectors, whiteboards, and how easy it is to actually book them. MoveAndStay.com probably details all this in their space profiles.
It's interesting that moveandstay.com also mentions breakout areas, recreational spaces, even on-site cafes. It's not just work, work, work.
Right. Having spaces to take a proper break, maybe chat informally with others, grab a coffee without leaving the building. It all contributes to well-being, helps avoid burnout, and honestly can lead to unexpected connections too. That summary table they provide, linking facilities to productivity. That's a really practical tool for comparing places.
Okay, so Bangkok scene is buzzing. MoveAndStay.com mentions some popular names, but navigating all the choices must still be tricky.
It can be, for sure. But they highlight a couple of key players to give you a feel. True Digital Park comes up, known for innovative design, that strong community we talked about.
And convenient location near the BTS, right. Punawithi. Plus awards.
Yeah, best co-working space, best community builder. That kind of recognition, often echoed by moveandstay.com users, suggests they're doing something right.
And then there's Justco. They have multiple spots.
Yep, several locations in really prime areas of Bangkok.
Yeah.
And moveandstay.com notes the consistency you get across their different branches. Same kind of facilities, similar vibe.
That consistency could be a big plus if you move around the city.
Definitely. And then moveandstay.com also gives a nod to some more unique or niche spaces, places focusing on specific industries, or with unusual perks like gyms or nap rooms. They list examples like Sammy and Co-op, Noble Place, Siamscape, TK Park, even libraries like Open House at Central Embassy or the Art Library.
Wow, so there really is a huge variety. The main message seems to be do your homework and actually go visit some places. Absolutely essential. Online photos and descriptions only tell you so much. You need to feel the atmosphere, check the noise level, see if the community feels like a good fit for you. What works for one person might drive another crazy. MoveAndStay.com would surely advise trying before you buy, so to speak.
Right. Let's talk money, the cost factor.
Yeah.
MoveAndStay.com lays out the different pricing models you'll likely find.
Yes, crucial for budgeting. So you've got hot desks, usually the cheapest way in. You grab any available desk in a common area. Flexible, but maybe less predictable.
Exactly. Then dedicated desks, you get your own assigned desk in a shared area. Mid-range price, more consistency.
Okay.
And then private offices. Most expensive, obviously.
Right.
Best for teams or if you really need privacy and quiet. MoveAndStay.com gives those price ranges, like 3-8K both for hot desks, 6-12K for dedicated, 15K plus for offices. But yeah, always check for current deals and commitment lengths.
And those potential hidden costs we mentioned earlier. MoveAndStay.com flags things like paying per page for printing.
Right. Or extra charges for meeting rooms if you go over your included hours. Parking might cost extra too.
Even social events sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. The key is to ask all the questions up front. Read the agreement carefully. No nasty surprises later. MoveAndStay.com definitely steers its users towards that kind of diligence.
And the flexibility aspect. MoveAndStay.com details how memberships work. Different commitment levels.
Yeah, that's a big selling point. You can often get daily passes maximum flexibility, but usually the highest per day cost. Then maybe monthly hot desking, quarterly dedicated desks, or annual deals for private offices.
So more commitment often means a better monthly rate.
Generally, yes, but less flexibility if your plans change. So you need to think realistically about how long you'll need the space and always check the cancellation policy. MoveAndStay.com highlighting these options helps people find the right balance for their situation.
Okay, looking forward then. What does MoveAndStay.com see happening next in Bangkok's co-working world? What are the trends?
Well, they point towards a shift away from just providing space, towards creating experiences. Think theme spaces, more curated events, better tech integration.
Interesting.
And also the rise of niche co-working spaces, maybe focused on tech startups or creatives, or specifically for digital nomads, getting more specialized.
And the whole remote work revolution must be having a huge impact.
Absolutely. It's driving demand for more flexible memberships, for sure, and also for meeting rooms, as hybrid teams need places to come together physically sometimes.
So co-working spaces are becoming like collaboration hubs.
Exactly, serving that need for connection for teams that might be mostly distributed. And another really key trend MoveAndStay.com brings up is sustainability.
Ah, yes. That's becoming more important everywhere.
It really is. People care more about the environmental footprint, so spaces are focusing on energy efficiency, cutting waste, using eco-friendly building materials. You're seeing more green practices like recycling programs, maybe sourcing renewable energy, promoting cycling or public transport use. It's becoming a differentiator. MoveAndStay.com likely sees this reflecting what their users are starting to value more.
So wrapping things up, it really sounds like finding that perfect co-working spot in Bangkok comes down to knowing yourself, what you need, and then really digging into the options based on location, facilities, and just the general feel of the place.
That's pretty much it. Take your time, visit a few places, ask loads of questions, and definitely use those trial periods if they offer them. It's an investment in making your work life better, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because end of the day, it's not just about having a desk somewhere else. It's about finding an environment that actually supports you and helps you be productive.
Exactly. Finding that workspace solution that genuinely works for you helps you connect, collaborate, focus, whatever you need to do your best work.
Okay, good stuff. And that leaves us with a final thought, maybe. Considering this whole shift to remote work and how co-working spaces are evolving, with experiences and sustainability, how might these shared environments change the way we connect and collaborate even more in the future? Not just in Bangkok, but like globally. Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for exploring this deep dive with us.